14755 kHz and via streaming on voinews.id and RRI Digital on mobile application. We present various programs for you. Diplomatic Forum, The Session, Indonesian Wonder, Miscellany, Let's Speak Bahasa Indonesia, Indonesian pop and regional songs, international musical entertainment, as well as news and information about Indonesia and abroad. Voice of Indonesia, from Indonesia to the world.
Good morning, Voi listener around the world. As the Easter approaches tomorrow, we're joined by a special guest. We'll be talking about exploring Easter's foster unity, hope, and renewal across different cultures and also faiths. And right now, I am accompanied by Mr. Armada Riyanto, the lecturer at STFT College of Theological Philosophy, Widya, Sasana from Malang. And in this special interview, a respected religious leaders to delve into the deeper meanings of the season and hope. Whether you're celebrating or simply just curious about what is it about, this conversation promises the insights into the themes of hope, renewal, and shared humanity. And so, without any further ado, let's begin today's session. Hello, Mr. Armada. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm good.
And as the Easter is approaching, what do you feel about this festive season?
Well, I feel great. I feel very excited and thrilled to participate in many celebrations of the Easter Paschal Mysteries, because the characteristics of the Paschal Mysteries is basically for the liturgical things. So it is indeed quite interesting, actually, for the Christians, especially the Catholics, because these days are full with the liturgical celebrations.
Okay, and so I would like to ask you, for those who are unfamiliar, since Indonesia is, well, quite known much for the Islam religion, but can you explain a brief explanation about what Easter represents in your faith of tradition?
Well, Easter celebration consists of three days, basically. Well, it is initiated by the Palm Sunday, last Sunday, but these 3 days is what we call that Maundy Thursday, and then Good Friday, and then Holy Saturday. But Holy Saturday consists of the vigil celebration of the Easter Sunday, and then on the Easter celebration on Sunday itself. Very big celebration. So the Maundy Thursday represents the so-called the new commandment of Jesus to love one another. So it was said by Jesus himself in the Last Supper, directed to the apostles. So that's why then the Holy Thursday means that the Holy Eucharist was founded, and then also the priesthood was founded, and so on and so forth. And the Good Friday is the celebration of the death, the commemoration of the death of Jesus on the cross. He was crucified. And the paradox of the crucifixion of Jesus is this, that Jesus was crucified and he was dead on the cross, but at the same time, he was also called as the Savior, as the Son of God. So we believe in this Son of God, the Savior, Jesus the Messiah, etc. And the Holy Saturday is basically a very big celebration. It consists of a lot of liturgical symbolism, because at the beginning of the celebration was actually a very solemn celebration, because at the beginning we stayed in the church, outside the church, in the dark moment. But then eventually we come to light, and then we have a Easter candle. And so we call that celebration of the light, that the celebration of the resurrection of Jesus himself. So those things, actually the components, I would say, and the ingredients of the so-called Paschal mysteries.
Okay, that is really interesting, Romo Armada. And I would like to ask you, in your view, what is the most profound lessons that Easter teaches us?
Well, the core message of the Easter is actually one, that is peace. Peace and salvation. It is peace because Jesus, the Son of God, he gave himself on the cross. He was murdered, basically, and then he died. But God, with this, let's say, absolute gift of himself, he saved us from sin. He loved us. He loved us with his cross, with his ultimate love that is self-giving to the humankind. So that's why then each one of us should remind the love of God, unconditional, to bring peace to others. Our world now is a broken world, basically, because the leaders of the countries, they tend to dominate others, and they create tensions and then urge war. So those things actually make us like living in faith. But with this love of God, by dying on the cross, again, we come to the so-called a peaceful relationship with God and with others.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Easter is also often symbolizes as renewal, from what you've explained before, Romo Armada. And can you tell us, how can individuals apply this concept in a renewal for their daily lives?
Well, yes. When we look at Jesus, and then he resurrected from the dead. So that means that each one of us as individuals, we are called to resurrect from the old way of our lives. Let's not hate others. Let's not condemn others. Let's not make wars with others. Physically, also, let's say, doing something bad to others. Yeah. Instead, let's have peace. Let's bring peace. Let's embrace one another. Let's extend our arms to help one another. So this thing actually is very, self-renewing, yeah, towards God and also towards others.
Okay, so from your perspectives, what do
Yes.
people of other faiths or non-believers find most meaningful about Easter?
Well, of course, I should acknowledge that not all of the people from other faith are interested in this kind of celebration. But as you can imagine, basically, this celebration is very meaningful, actually, also to other people, to the world. The message of the Easter celebration is very embracing. It's very reconciling, you know. It's not creating any tension or something like that. I still remember this kind of understanding that Jesus, who died on the cross, is actually the Prince of Peace, the Prince of Peace. By how do you call that? Being Prince of Peace, it's not simply talking or giving words, but he giving himself, you know, he giving himself to others. He does not heal the sick, or he does not feed the hungry, but he saved us from evil, from sin. So those things actually is very, how do you call that, relevant actually to the people of other faith.
Okay.
I would suggest that my neighbor, my friends, my colleagues, my the collaborators, they know that what we the Christians are doing now is nothing to do with any tension, but peace.
Yes.
Thank you.
From what I've heard, Easter can bring peace and unity and understanding among diverse communities. And how do you see Easter is giving to the other communities through unity and and understanding between each religion?
Well, yes, the Catholics usually are summoned not to celebrate liturgically, but also by doing something good to others. Not just through fasting and abstinence, but also to collect whatever, not just money, but also the goods, and then delivering to those who are in need, and also to help others who are in difficulty. So those things actually is connected with the so-called the message of peace. Because by doing peace, you cannot say just with a word, but you have to realize it in what you are doing. So those things actually is very recommended to each one of the Catholics in Indonesia and also across the world, I guess.
Okay, so Armada,
Yes.
I'm going to ask maybe like some personal question. Could you share your personal story or experience to the Easter that highlights the impacts of Easter message that you can like spread and share to the others?
Well, it's very personal actually.
Oh, okay.
Okay, no, I just want to this is in a personal case. You know, I have a little experience. You know, once I understand that my neighbor, a friend of mine, since I was childhood, uh, get very ill, and he was so thin because of the cancer, and he was in despair. He wanted just to die, etc., because of that illness. And then I continuously pay visit to him and doing something and also embracing him. And regularly I visited him. And eventually, and then, you know, he was so peaceful. He died already, but he died peacefully. So those things actually is something. This is my personal experience. I guess others would have a lot of experience, but those things can happen to everybody. So we need, again, we need to extend our hands and our heart especially to those who are in need, whatever.
Yes, I agree. Well, every time we need to always spread peace and love and unity, sharing peace and accept others for what they do and accept the things that we did before. And in today's world, what are some modern challenges in the Easter messages, and how can we address them and share across the world?
Well, yes, it's a big thing, and it must be a big word as well. Well, unfortunately, we are living in the very difficult time now because of the tension created by I would say, the leaders who are not wise enough, yeah, to deliver a peaceful message, whether it is connected with the war, physical war, and even genocide in certain extents, but also with the so-called declaration of the tension in the tariff. The tariff. We may call that tariff war. The tariff war. Well, we need to pray. We need to come together. It is not enough, again, that we do something big, but we need to be peaceful in ourselves, first of all. And we need to pray for the leaders, because sometimes the leaders just think by themselves or helped by some other, but the decision is not really good for let's say, spreading the peaceful message. I would say, let's do something good to others. Let's do something peaceful to others. First of all, in our own surroundings, with the neighbors, with the colleague, with others anyway, close to us. But then let's also pray for one another, for peaceful moment, for peaceful, do you call that, living together. Look at Gaza, and then look at Ukraine, and also look at Syria, and then the Africa. But I would say, look at also ourselves in our daily life. Let's prevent the tension, the unnecessary tensions among us. Okay, maybe those things are the message that we need to spread across the world.
Okay, thank you so much, Romo Armada. And
Yes.
of course, what I also want to say is always spread peace and gather unity across the world in these difficult times.
Exactly. Yeah.
And of course, thank you so much, Romo Armada, for coming to this special interview right now. And also, thank you, voice listener, for accompanying me in this special interview, and also Romo Armada for sharing your wisdom and reflections for us today. And
You're
to our
welcome.
listeners worldwide, may this Easter brings you peace, hope, and a renewed sense of connection. And until next time, voice listeners, stay tuned with us always in Voice of Indonesia for more amazing and spreading peace around the world.